Alaska, America's last wilderness, teeming with game and wildlife. Here, though, the animals are more than just part of the pretty scenery. To the people who live here, they are food. In 1978, the state passed a law giving liberal hunting and fishing privileges to rural inhabitants, a majority of them natives, so that they can maintain their subsistence lifestyle. Urban residents, on the other hand, are classified as sportsmen and thus generally held to stricter regulations. Some of them claim the law has discriminated against them. We will explore this issue with 3 Alaskans as they hunt and fish.
When I was in school, sometimes we come to school without food because food was scarce, you know, no jobs. And, when the hunting is bad, then it was pretty tough. We were told not to be wasteful. Take only what you need.
Hey, the hunting, the fishing, the waterfall, whale hunting, those are the fun things, but they would not want to go back and do the hardship things. You know, the gathering of, no housing, no fuel, walking hundreds of miles across the tundra.
We have lost a lot of people trying to figure out how to live on this ice, but so that today I'm able to take you guys on a stroll here as if we're going out to a grocery store.
Because store-bought food in Alaska is so expensive, especially in isolated areas, even people with good jobs like Warren Matumiak take time off each summer to spend at camps in the tundra where they stock up for the long winter. A subsistence hunter, Matumiak is allowed to fish with a net.
This year fishing hasn't been very good. We've been averaging about a dozen fish a day. Kill it before I take it off. Okay, open the back.
Yeah. I did.
We share a lot of our stuff with other people in Barrow, our relatives and friends. This will be dry later on. It's all ice down here. Keeps our food in pretty good condition. They don't spoil.
Up there.
Tommy. The best thing that happened here is that people who wants to work are able to make money and to make good use of that money for better living. And for those who doesn't know how to spend money is another thing, One of the bad things that came along when the white people come up was the cigarette, once you start smoking it, it's pretty hard to get away from it. I enjoy doing it.
Far from the North Slope tundra, sportsmen here on the Kenai River are limited by law to fishing with rods and reels, and they resent that others are allowed to use nets.
Well, we're heading down Beaver Creek here. We're going to come into the Kenai River, probably one of the most famous fishing rivers in Alaska, if not North America. Most of these people on the river now are fishing for king salmon. The record for this river is about a 91-pound fish.
Okay, there you go. Hey.
Wow. As I grew up, as a child, of course, I had many romantic notions regarding the American natives, be they Eskimo, Indian, Aleut, whatever. I guess what I'm saying is that my romantic point of view has been destroyed with the reality of what I've seen around me in the native communities.
They over-harvest, just on the spot, over-harvest. As 35 caribou come running by, and there's 5 or 6 natives or even rural white people living in these designated subsistence areas. Hey, they drop all 35 of them.
It tears the state apart because it's created 2 classes of people, and I think we're going to have a lot of trouble in this state.
The subsistence, the whole native rights, Indian rights issue subsistence, basically is built around a fantasy world that for some reason things should not change for certain people in certain conditions.
Subsistence lifestyle is no fantasy for this hunter. Billy Tkach is, according to the people of Barrow, a maverick, even an extremist, but a man who voices the fear of many. In particular, what offshore drilling could do to their hunting grounds.
It's hard to describe my religion in English, but we're living it right now. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's a religion of survival. Oops. Hey, looked like I was going to go all the way through on that one. Try to avoid the white stuff and get on the darker stuff. Yeah. What the oil companies want to do is drill through here, and anytime from September till July, if they should have a blowout, it'll be under the ice. Not only is it going to change my life, it's going to change ducks, geese, seals, fish. I'm being forced to change my diet. I cannot change my diet just now, and possibly not for another 100 years. Tell you what, why don't we go on foot? It's just a little ways over here, all right? Yeah, there's a bear out there, and it's right by those humps. It's a yellow, you can't see it till it's a yellow streak. I can see the head now. Here.
It's a polar bear?
Yeah. Take along 6 shots. Got my shooting glasses. We got it made. I saw 2 seals, smaller ones. Anyhow, the seal is about less than a couple hundred yards. In fact, I could go to a high spot over here and take a shot, but I'm going to try to get closer over here. There's a good spot over here, all right. Less than 100 feet, maybe 70 feet to the seal. I got him. Now we're going to tie it up and then drag it back the same way we came. Looks like a good one. It could have just rolled over, all right. See where it went through? It's right here someplace. Oh, right here. There's the hole. Right in here. Yeah, just like walking to the grocery store, and it might seem different, but this is how we live, how we have survived for a long time. Well, as soon as we get up there, it'll be cut up by one of my daughters or my folks, one of my sisters maybe, and they'll save the skin, and all the meat's going to be gone in one meal to all the families. And people are going to smile at you when you get home because they're going to have fresh meat, fresh seal, stuff we like. In Barrow, we just thank the seals for letting us get one.
Well,
I get mud going to the grocery store on them streets. Here, you got to watch out for a polar bear and rotten ice.
This is the Arctic Ocean, and this is Barrow, Alaska, a community of 3,000 Eskimo, or Inuit. It is the northernmost settlement in the United States. 10 years ago, Barrow was one of the poorest and least developed towns in America, with no running water and few jobs. Almost everyone depended on subsistence hunting for their food. But all that changed almost overnight after the discovery of the massive Prudhoe Bay oil fields and a successful battle by Inuit leaders for the right to tax the oil companies. Today, the North Slope Borough, which includes Barrow and a string of isolated villages, is one of the richest municipalities in the United States. But one thing in Barrow hasn't changed. Every spring and fall, dozens of whaling crews patiently stalk 60-foot whales in primitive sealskin boats. The hand-thrown harpoons with which they strike the whales are almost identical to those used by Yankee whalers in the 19th century. Because there are approximately 4,000 bowhead whales left, the village is allowed to strike or harpoon only 8. This year was a good one for Barrow. They landed 4 out of 8 whales. Immediately after they were caught, the whales were butchered and divided up on the ice. then carted back to Barrow on a fleet of snowmobiles. To celebrate their successful hunt, a month later, the whaling captains host the community's most important holiday, the Tkach. This year, the festival also brought together leaders from even the most isolated villages on the Arctic slope. Among them, Herman Rexford from Tkach, who posed for the Native Corporation's annual report.
Good. Want to give that 60 seconds to develop?
Yeah. How about that? You know what I did? I shaved and then cut this flat top with my razor. Electric razor. That
Not bad. Pretty even there. Pretty even.
69 years old man. I raised here and born here, and in my days, no electric light, no, just gas lamp, coal. When I went to school, coal.
And what's it like now?
Yeah, right now it's different, huh? No dog team, all machine dogs.
But Mr. Rexford's age did not stop him from taking part in the traditional blanket toss, which, like the whale hunt, is a sinew that binds the Eskimos to their past.
There's more identity with whaling. I think that's what whaling means to the people here. It gives them sort of a celebration and meaning for their way of life.
For most of the people in Barrow, the highlight of the festival is the sharing of the bounty from this year's whale hunt.
What do you got there?
Fermented meat. It's whale meat and mucked up, soaked in their blood for about 2 weeks.
Soaked in their own blood?
Then they get acetate it, and that's what they get. Mickey up.
One family?
Get your heart out, Ronald. This is what we're fighting for, our survival. Just like they're surviving for their vegetables down south. The good Lord put the animals in this earth, and also two-legged animal called man. God says that the animals are going to be gone one of these days, and they will be gone. But how we manage our resources, our renewable resources, is going to be up to us. So we'll overtake, and then we suffer at the end.
When the government proposed a ban on the hunt, claiming it was a threat to the whales, the Eskimos spent millions on research that proved there was a stable herd of bowheads. But the money for those studies came from the same oil wells that fuel the breakneck development of the North Slope, and that may pose an even greater threat to the hunt.
This is fun, see? It's like Eskimo trampoline. It's like an Eskimo trampoline.
So many things have happened in 10 years. What do you think is going to happen in the next 20?
Oh, man. I don't know. Just, man, Barrow might be getting bigger and bigger. And, it's like maybe no whaling. They're just leaving the old days behind. I guess that's mostly what's happening, because right now, if it were the old days, we'd probably be speaking Eskimo and all that, our Eskimo language, and right now it's different because more and more white people are coming in.
Does it worry you, or are you happy with what's changed?
I mean, half and half. Like, the best thing that's different from the old days to me is like get to go Honda riding, get to watch TV, you know, cartoons, and I think it's better to have it changing.
I like the old way better. We had more communication with one another in the olden days, which we don't have too much now because of television.
This cultural shock is real. It's among our people.
There's been a lot of drinking, which is not good for any of us. They don't realize that the same thing that was destroying the Indian has come to our villages.
It's a curse. It's a disease. It's a family curse. It's a village curse. My older sister, she froze to death outside. She'd been drinking. It's broken up the community spirit.
Selling alcohol is illegal in Barrow, but at $40 a bottle, plenty is smuggled in. Along with the contraband, though, comes the raw materials of progress. Building supplies for the school and modern housing, and for one native oil worker, a lifelong dream. The the town's only Harley-Davidson, which he can only ride around the few streets of Barrow.
10 years ago, we didn't have all these machinery running around like they are now. I wouldn't be sitting on this thing. I'd probably be sitting on a caribou. I don't know. Maybe I'm being westernized, too. You can't stop progress. A lot of people seen it coming, but a lot of people can't cope with it. Learn to live with it if you want to survive.